Well, thank you so much for coming today to our talk. Hopefully today we're going to show some of our new experiences that we developed on our developer portal that really helps you accelerate some of your integrations or your integration journey through, namely, the interactive integration guide. My name is Lance, I manage one of the developer content teams here at PayPal. We work very closely with engineers and product managers to create the documentation that you see on our development portal today. I'm joined here by Sarat.
Hey everyone, this is Sarat. I'm an engineering manager at PayPal. We build tools and services for external developers who are trying to integrate with PayPal, make their life easy and as smooth as possible.
All right, so before the agenda, just wanted to let you know about this presentation. It's really good for people who are not very familiar, all the way to people who are very familiar with our documentation. People who aren't very familiar, this is going to be a really good session to learn how to, learn what are the entry points, what are the best entry points to learn about PayPal's new checkout experiences. Learn about the experiences, start integrating the experiences. For people who are much more familiar with the documentation, you'll get to see some of our evolution in our interactivity that really helps you kind of have a way better integration experience, testing experience, maintenance experience. With that said, today we're going to walk you through some of those entry points. Like I mentioned, one of them is the interactive integration guide. We're also going to show you some of our non-interactive yet nonetheless extremely helpful best practices and customization guides. I'm going to then pass it over to Sarah for a more in-depth detail and demo about those products, and then we're going to take some questions afterward. So for the overview, why an interactive integration guide? The interactivity really allows us to create a single source integration guide for you. Basically what that means is there's an all-in-one integration guide with all the different customization, quirks, different configurations that you want in your final integration, all in one spot, and now you don't have to open up 20, 30 different pages just to get your exact integration right with the minimum amount of requirements. We've shrunk that 20, 30 page tab list down to one tab, and not only that, that then leads to, at the very end of it, a tailored integration guide for your needs. All the interactivity allows you to then configure, oh, I want this feature, I don't want that feature, I want this feature. And at the very end of this integration guide, you're gonna have this integration that's specifically for what you came here for. Say you have a merchant with specific preferences and specific needs, say you need to integrate it in a specific manner, you have all that available for you on one page without having to go around anywhere else. Another good thing is, at this point, you have learned about our checkout items, you have started integrating our checkout items, but with the Sandbox and Connected Tools ecosystem, you're going to be able to then also test your integration right in the same integration guide. So to dive into some of the features, the specific features that this provides, one of them is the buyer experience preview screen. Basically what happens is as you're configuring your integration, seeing what customizations there are, you get to in live see what is that, how is that impacting the buyer's experience? What does that change as the buyer, what does that change as you're configuring your integration? What is the buyer going to see due to those changes? Another feature that's really helpful is we have different programming language selections. So as you're going through the configurations, there's a code preview box that updates to ensure that, hey, whatever you're configuring, that's going to be reflected in the code here. You can change whichever code language that you want, and then that'll be reflected there, and you can copy and paste into your existing integration. Last but not least, really important part, really exciting part is the testing portion. Now we of course have testing via amazing tools like Postman, right? But one of the big things that happens when we start integrating into Sandbox or embedding the Sandbox into our integration guide is we can test right on the spot there, and also that leads to a test panel that we have where you can see kind of what the results of those tests were for, with real-time API analysis, and as well as all of those different interactivities being shown to you in the test panel. And with that said, we also have the additional helpful resources, such as our best practice guides and customization guides. So this is what I alluded to before, which is the not so interactive yet extremely helpful guides that exist for you. These are companion pieces. So what are the best practice guides? Best practice guides, they're divided into what you would say use cases. So are you selling something for one-time checkout? Are you selling in a very recurring manner? whichever one you choose that's right for you will have recommended integration patterns and also examples of what those actual recommendations look like to the user. So we're turning to a very user-focused, use case-focused, user experience-focused documentation. The other side of that is the customization guides. This is similar manner, but now you're down to the feature level. So this is the very, very nooks and cranny detail, and you get to see what are the key technical details back in, on the back end. What are the technical details that you have to maneuver and see, but also what is the code, what are the commands, what are the sample responses that you should be expecting. So. Did a lot of talking, like I mentioned, that was just an overview. I'm gonna pass it along to Sarat. He's gonna go dive much more into the details of the demo and the interactive guide and show you all the good things that I just talked about.
All right, let's go to the demo. All the integration guides of PayPal can be accessed from our developer.paypal.com. So yeah, when you scroll down, you can see the list of accepted payment methods in one platform with PayPal Complete Payments. You can see Fastlane, PayPal Standard Checkout, Card Processing, Pay Later, and all those. All of these are different integration guides. For this demo, I'm concentrating on the PayPal Standard Checkout here. When you click on any of these read documentation, it will take you to the PayPal's interactive integration guides. Let's pick up the PayPal Standard Checkout here. Yeah, you'll be taken to an overview page where it talks about what are the payment, what type of cards and things are allowed on this PayPal Standard Checkout. You can go down, either you can start the one-time payments or the recurring payments. PayPal Standard Checkout supports both one-time and recurring. We can start the integration guide directly by clicking on the Start Integration. It will take you to the integration guide itself. So let me explain the page setup here for you to understand. On this page, you can look at the steps. At the same time, you can look at the preview and the code all together in one single page. We have front-end and back-end languages here, whatever language you're familiar with, either be HTML or React, or the back-end language that you're familiar with, like Node.js, Java, PHP. We support 6 languages. You can pick up any one of the language here. The code panel will automatically update with the backend languages. For this example, I picked up Java, and it is showing you a sample application.java on the backend. The same way, we have a bunch of downloadable code samples here. You can open the entire code in the code spaces, in GitHub code spaces if you have an account. You can get started with that directly by clicking on this. We have a collection of Postman collections where you can click and directly fork the Postman collection and get started with that. Or you can be on this page and complete the integration and experience the integration directly here. The preview panel is every time you make any changes to the customization, we have the customizations like buyer country. If you want somebody to, how will be the buyer experience when the buyer is coming from Germany, you can click on Germany, so certain SEPA debit cards and things like that will open up. At the same time, if you are from United States, this is a live running code. It is using VS JavaScript v5 SDK. And even the currencies, like if you want to use a Canada, the SDK is reloading with the right currency code. The preview panel and the one that Lance has talked about, which is a testing panel. So here is how we launch the testing panel. Every time, the main aim of this testing panel is basically when you're doing a client-side integration, you have your browser developer tools where you can see the logs and stuff like that. However, when your PayPal integration has 2 sides, basically it is a client side and there is a server side, but whatever is happening on the server side is something that is not visible to you. The main aim of this testing panel is to showcase what server calls are going from your merchant server to PayPal and what is the response going to look like. For example, when you click on this PayPal button here, there will be an order that is created and a pop-up that comes up saying like buyer login and things like that. However, there is a order that is created behind the scenes from the merchant server. We are showcasing that as a create order call. In the logs here, technically the request and the response that your server will send to PayPal and what the response will come back from PayPal server back to your server. So this is something like, this is a very, very robust feature of this testing panel to showcase you how the server interactions will happen, which is not so visible to the developers usually. And in this, this is a basic setup of the interactive integration guide. And also, while you're crawling through the steps, it will highlight the code that is relevant to that step. For example, if I am going through the front-end code, it is telling this is the HTML that I'm talking about in this. And I go to configure your script parameters, it is highlighting this is the script parameters. It is clearly walking you through the steps one by one. And one of the two features that I wanted to highlight in this demo, the major advantages of having these interactive integration guides is recently we introduced shipping callbacks and contact module. There are two features that PayPal standard checkout has introduced. Shipping callbacks is something like your customer is on the PayPal checkout screen and he's trying to change his shipping address or the shipping options. PayPal tries to send a callback directly to the merchant server in this case and tell, hey, the customer has changed the shipping address to probably New York to California or to Hawaii. So the merchant server at that time gets a real-time callback for which the merchant server can respond saying, no, we don't ship it to Hawaii, or yes, we do ship it to Hawaii, but the shipping options are limited. We do only standard shipping. So things like that. The merchant is having a full control of what shipping options the customer can select on a PayPal checkout screen. So to even experience this as a developer or to even run this on a developer machine on a local host, first you need to write some pieces of code, deploy that into some server, give that as a callback URL to PayPal create order. There is tons of work that needs to be done. So even if you wanted to see this just how does this work, you need to do all this work. So the interactive integration guide aims to solve that problem here. It is basically setting up a server behind the scenes and allowing you to see how the interaction works, along with the call logs, along with the callbacks that your server will receive and what the response from your server will look like. Everything will be captured within the test panel here, and that's what we're going to see right now. Let me go to this server-side shipping callback side, enable this. Again, this is an optional feature. Every step here in this integration guide, anything that is optional will be marked as an optional tag. Only if your merchant is interested in getting these callbacks, they can enable this. It automatically tailors your code basically on the server side, because this is a server-side shipping callback. The code will be added to your server side. The payment source is getting added here in this case. The callback events, we are calling it as, we are interested in both shipping address change and shipping options change. And this is the place where you send the callback URL. At this point, we added the code to the server.js. We rendered the JS SDK buttons, and our code is ready to execute. Let me create an order for now. So once you create an order, you can see the create order call. Earlier, we didn't have any of these. We just had item details and the amount. But now you can see the order is created with the payment source, with PayPal experience context, and we have added the callback settings in the create order call. The callback URL, if you look at it, it is the developer experiences integration guide is acting as a callback for you in this case. So it is putting the callback URL back to the integration guide. Now, once you do login, customer logs in. This is a regular login screen, and once you log in, the callback comes to this based on the callback URL. The callback, this is the callback that came to our server, and this is the response that we responded back to there. In the create order call, if you see, I did not send any shipping options. So it just a plain vanilla create order call with a bunch of shipping options. In the server-side shipping callback, my server has received, hey, the user who logged in having a default address of New York. So what is your shipping options? To this callback, our server has responded saying, I have 3 shipping options for New York. So these are the shipping options that I allow. So immediately, these shipping options are available to the customer as a delivery options here. I can change the shipping option to 1 day. I got a call back saying, hey, the customer has selected, the shipping address is New York still. He selected a shipping option of 1-day shipping, which adds $10. So the merchant server has responded back and updated the total amount for this order to 110, and he is selecting out of the 3 shipping options, yes, the selected is true, and we allow that. That means the merchant is responding saying, yes, we allow this. The same way as we asked, if you remember, not just shipping options, we also asked for shipping address. So there is, let's say the customer has changed the shipping address to somewhere else, to New York to Los Angeles. Again, the shipping callback comes back, giving the address. We don't give the full address, but rather like the zip code and the city details. Based on that, the merchant can respond saying whether they will ship for that address or not. In this case, the merchant accepted, so well, it is good. Still, there is one more option that we have for testing purposes. We have created some steps within the negative testing, basically, merchant decline responses. In case if you wanted to see how you have to decline a address or things like that, there are certain error codes which you can put as a part of the city. In this case, either it's an address error or the country error. So these are the strings basically that you put into the address that will issue you a decline error. For example, I have an address like this, or I have an address, I think.
Third one or fourth one.
Yeah, address error. So I can pick up this. It automatically is saying the merchant server is responding saying it is an unprocessable entity. We cannot, it's an address error. We don't want to ship to that. Then automatically it gets disabled, and the customer can pick up any one of his preferred addresses. Okay, once they do all of this and the callbacks happens in real time, and once you complete the payment, you will see a capture call, and the selected shipping address and the selected shipping options will be reflected in the final capture call, and from there the merchant can fulfill the order in however manner that the customer has requested the order for. This is one feature. This is a server-side shipping callbacks, showing in real time how the callbacks works and things like that without even the developer writing a single line of code. The other feature that I wanted to demo today is a contact module, as I said. The contact module aims to basically providing the customer to update his contact details on the shipping, on the order, through which they can get the real-time update on the shipping, like packages and things like that. Often, I might buy a product for my friend, and I want him to get the shipping details and things like that. So you can provide your friend's email address or the phone number just for that particular order. So that's the advantage of having a contact module. You can enable this, same like other code gets updated. Whenever you add something, the code gets updated with the contact preference. There are 3 types of preferences that the merchant can set up. One is you don't take any contact information from the customer. That's one thing. The second one, that's the default one, because to maintain some backward compatibility, that's the default one. There is an update contact information. That means the merchant is providing certain contact details to the order. However, the customer has an option to change that on the checkout screen. The same thing, retain contact information, where the merchant wants to provide it and they want that to be shown to the customer on the checkout screen. However, they don't want to change, they don't want the customer to change it. So there are 3 options. You can change all of them. The code will reflect immediately on what enum values is selected for that particular contact preference. And let me pick up one of them and see how the code will react. So in this case, we are creating an order. We selected the contact preference as no contact info. So we are sending a contact info here, which is email address and the phone number, email address of the buyer who we are creating the order for. However, the checkout screen is not showing up anything, which is good. The second one is update contact information. We create an order again. We are sending the contact information. In this case, we are sending the shipping phone number and the buyer, sorry, the callback came. Shipping phone number and the email address. We can see that reflected in the checkout screen, the contact, and the customer is having an option to change that. If he chooses to change it, he can change it on the checkout screen. And let me change it to John Doe and try to pay for this. And the merchant will get this contact information as a part of the capture order, whatever the customer has selected. For example, he selected John Doe, and this is the address, this is the phone number. He selected where the shipping address is. So the merchant gets the details as a part of the capture response of the customer choices, whatever they made it on the checkout screen. So basically, these are the third one is, I think, like there is one more shipping option, which is retain contact information. In this case, we are saying that as a merchant, I'm going to send you the contact details, just present it to the buyer, and don't allow them to change it. So the default option is basically it is selected. We're not showing any other contact details, or we're not allowing to add any other contact details here for the customer. And again, this is all merchant's preference. PayPal provides all these options. Whatever the merchant preference is for those orders, they can decide that. In all these cases, the interactive integration guides are basically tailored to showcase the experience without even writing a single line of code. Just see what options are available, how the checkout options are, how the checkout screen will react based on the options that you selected, and you can then decide which is the right thing and implement it in your code base somewhere. The other options that you have on the testing panel is testing accounts and API history. So there is a very cool feature of logging in. You can log in to your sandbox accounts, and the integration guides will bring back all the client apps that you have as part of your sandbox. And it allows you to run the integration, or allows you to test the client ID secrets that you have on your sandbox. You can run the integration with that client ID secret, whether the client ID secret is enabled with Venmo or not, if it is enabled with Pay Later. So if certain features are not enabled for that particular client ID, you will not see that. That means the JS SDK is literally running on your own credentials at this point. Now, when I open the testing panel, I can see the API history. If you have made some previous transactions using that particular client credentials, you will see all the API histories that happened. It can be through Postman. You could have used this on different. You have a live web app running or a sandbox app running. You can see all the call logs here. Anything that is going out of this client ID secret. So this is about the interactive integration guides. And once you log in, and finally you can download this code. For example, if you have found out or you have customized all of these options, and finally you can download the code as is. All the customizations in the code will be preserved, and finally the code will be downloaded. You can take that file, class file, directly use it within your web application or wherever your e-commerce website. You can use this PayPal integration there. It is as simple as that. So you're writing code within the editor here, and you're exporting it to your application. To complement this, as Lance was mentioning, we have some best practices guides and some tailored experiences. If you want, like for example, I have a contact module. I want to read more about that, or I wanted a full-blown integration guide for a contact module. These pages here will supplement that. The best practices talks about what are the upstream presentments, and what do you have to, what are the best practices to showcase these buttons, how to showcase Pay Later messages and things like that. You can read all that in these complemented pages. And these are the greater level of details. For example, for the contact module, what are the key features of this contact module? What is the value prop that the contact module is providing? If you want to read more about that as a merchant, or you wanted to update your merchant of what is the value prop that is getting as a developer, you can update this to them. And some code samples, and again, things like that can be found in these sister pages. Yeah, that's about it. And I'll give it to Lance to summarize what we have discussed today. And I hope you enjoyed the demo.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sarah, for the demo. That was a really good in-depth look into our interactive integration guides. And really, what we're trying to propose here is a bundle of services, right? So we have this bundle that allows you to really get started learning quickly about our checkouts, started integrating and testing. And this bundle is helmed, at the helm is our interactive integration guide, which allows you to do all those 3 steps of, oh, what is this integration? What are these tools? What are these features? Let me integrate those features. Let me test those features. Now, if you wanted to dive even deeper into, hey, recommend me how I should integrate this given my situation. I'm selling it one-time purchase. I'm selling a recurring purchase. What are the best recommendations that we have for you based on our experience? And you can learn more about that, as well as dive in, again, like the contact module feature guide, just very deep into the feature itself and see, okay, what is the technology? What are the key components of it? And how should I actually integrate the feature itself? So with that said, that whole bundle, you should be able to then start your integration journey, really get testing and really get comfortable with it, and then push that into live as soon as possible. So with that said, that's everything we have prepared for you today, and happy to answer questions, or we're also going to be walking around the hallways as well. I'll probably have a Diet Coke in my hand. Just bother us and ask us any questions that you have about this. If we don't know the answer, we'll point you in the right direction. All right. Thank you so much.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Charlie.
So for contact module, can you ship it to multiple, if I have multiple items in an order, can I ship it to multiple addresses?
Multiple addresses, not at this moment. I think it is per order. It is if you are a partner and if you're selling multiple, if you have multiple merchants on that partner order, yes, it can be shipped because each partner, each merchant under the partner has an order, and that can be shipped to differently, but not on a single order.
And just to elaborate a little bit, partner means a lot of our partner platforms, such as, for example, like you have a platform that has a bunch of merchants creating their own, website onto it that then sell their own material. That's what we call partner, and then the end merchant, the merchant.
Facebook Marketplace is a best example. Shopify is a partner. A lot of merchants sell there.
Yes, please.
I was curious for the use case for retain contact. Is that maybe where the merchant's done some sort of account profile with validation, some kind of 2-factor auth or something where they want to make sure that that same email address is being used?
Yes, exactly. That's the use case. Like basically either the merchant wants the customers to update the contact information on their site first, and they wanted to provide that to PayPal, right? So that's the use case. You're exactly spot on.
Yeah, we're trying to provide varying levels of control basically to the merchant.
We wanted to be flexible there. It's not like we wanted to tailor to, the solution should be tailored to anybody, yeah.
Yes.
The interactive guide is super cool. I've never seen anything like it from any
Thank you.
any third-party vendor kind of situation. Are those available just for the PayPal integration?
Oh, no.
PayPal SDKs, or do you also have for like Braintree-based integrations?
Braintree, we are expanding it to Braintree later in this year, but right now for all the PayPal, Fastlane, we have expanded PPCP card processing. This is the Fastlane integration guide. It's the same thing. You'll see a fully working Fastlane experience in the integration guide itself. You can see I have entered a guest profile who is already who already has a Fastlane account, and it automatically brought, and it's a one-click checkout. Yeah. So the same thing with expanded. When you go to the integrate page of the expanded side, it is same, the whole card fields where you can enter the card number and you can complete the transaction. All of these integration guides has the preview panel, is a fully working preview panel. You can go through the steps, enable the optional things that you wanted to enable, the code gets modified, and you can download that code, and that is a fully working code. And whatever language that you select.
We're slowly but surely expanding, and then Yeah, exactly.
And then for the test panel, it looks like you can also generate test users, is that right? Or you have
Yes.
test accounts?
So you have,
If we signed in for that and they're tied to your
yeah,
ID?
exactly. Once you are on the test panel, like we have a test account and the API history, these are tailored because you're logged in now. Within your Sandbox account, whatever testing accounts that you have, you can use them here without switching back to the Sandbox to see like, hey, what is my testing account there? It is just live here. When you click on the PayPal button, preview panel, if you wanted to log in with this particular personal user buyer, because that buyer can be a Mexican buyer or say UK buyer, how the experience will be from different countries and things like that. If you want to experience, you can use one of these.
Can you create test accounts from this test panel?
We cannot create from here, but for that you need to go to your dashboard, go to your developer dashboard, and here you can create the test accounts. That's a good suggestion. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
I was about to say that's a good thing to put into a roadmap. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good thing. Like we can create. Basically we can wire that up and creating a test account here from here.
Yeah, it's very cool what you can do, even in the unauthenticated state, have the full end-to-end
Yes.
demo. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Just
Yeah.
giving you a mock experience so you can like kind of jump into it as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah, a lot of times people don't log in, but they still wanted to read the integration guide. So for that reason, we have to stand up a server behind the scenes to see like how you can showcase it well. Cool.
All right. Well, if there's no more questions, I am told to make this announcement. There's a hackathon going on in Building 17. So please, if you are at all interested, it's just a kickoff happening right now. Make yourself, move yourself over there and check it out. If it's interesting, please participate.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.